Okay, how do you hear, Peter?
I hear you fine.
Today is Monday, November 12th, 2012, and in the front seat in the hot seat is Peter. Where are you from, Peter?
Crystal River.
Crystal River, where?
Crystal River, Florida.
Oh, okay, Florida. So you're a local guy then, great.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, welcome aboard, Peter, and thanks for coming to Warbird Adventures. We're going to be doing a 30-minute flight with some aerobatics down in the south practice area. Turn these guys down here, and while we let the temperatures and the pressures come up, we're going to be talking about the airplane here a little bit. Before that, my name is Buck. I'm your pilot and flight instructor. We've already been introduced. I've been flying for 12 years and a flight instructor for 2 years. Sometimes I like to tell people that I'm 19 and this is my first week. But they don't take too kindly to that sometimes.
Well, hey, this will be a first for both of us then.
All right. So, what we have here is the mighty T6 Texan. This is the Navy version, actually, an SNJ-6, and this airplane was built originally in 1945. Currently, we have a brand new engine and a propeller on the front. But it's about 4,200 pounds empty and 5,300 pounds gross. It's got a steerable tail wheel, and obviously it's conventional gear or tail dragger, as well as high performance, more than 200 horsepower, complex, retractable landing gear, flaps, and a constant speed propeller. So tail wheel, high performance, and complex this airplane is.
Great.
It's powered by a Pratt & Whitney 1340 AN1, 9-cylinder, 600 horsepower engine. And it's a radial, of course, and a round engine configuration. It's carbureted as well. There were about 34,900 plus of these engines built, and they were first designed in 1925, actually. So, I'm sorry, 1935. It ended up being one of the most successful, if not the most successful engine that Pratt & Whitney ever produced, the Pratt & Whitney 1340. There's also the 985, which is known as the Junior Wasp. And then there's others as well that get larger and larger for some of the larger frontline fighters. Now, this airplane in World War II was used for advanced training. In World War II, you would have had 3 steps with the United States in the Army, Air Corps, or the Navy for pilot training. You would have gone through primary flight training first in something like a Boeing Stearman or a PT-22 recruit or Ryan PT-22 or Fairchild PT-19, and there's other designations as well. Then there's the basic step for pilot training if you didn't wash out of primary, and that would have been conducted in a Bolte BT-13 powered by a Pratt & Whitney 985, which looks similar to the T6, but it does not have retractable landing gear or a constant speed propeller. Sometimes it's fixed, depending on the variant. But then after that, if they didn't wash out still, you would end up graduating to advanced pilot training here, where you would fly the T6. It was complex, and it had interesting and dynamic flying qualities that adequately, more than adequately prepared pilots for what they would be flying on the front lines, like the P-51 Mustang, the Corsair, the Spitfire, etc. In the UK and Canada, it was known as the Harvard, Mark 1, 2, 3, or 4. But the airplane was not always relegated to a training role its whole life. It served with the United States Air Force in the Korean War as a forward air control aircraft, where it would mark targets and draw enemy ground fire, and then call in airstrikes with bigger, more well-equipped fighter planes and come in and do ground strikes. Unfortunately, they lost 33 aircraft in that conflict, but not after serving with 43,000 missions plus and 171,000 flight hours. So the T6 has had a lot of good service in battle combat in the Korean War. The French also used them in counterinsurgency operations against Algeria, and then they've been used in training in North America, South America, Europe, Middle East, and all over the world, really. They're a very versatile airplane. South Africa had these airplanes on the front line all the way up until, as frontline aircraft, all the way up until 1995, 1996, where they would have armaments underneath each wing, either 250-pound bombs or rockets. Sometimes 30 millimeter cannons in the left or right wings, and sometimes one in the nose, depending on what country and configuration and conflict. But most of all, they're best known as the pilot maker, because it challenges the pilot, especially with that aft swept leading edge of the wing. Makes stall characteristics not so friendly. All right, temperatures and pressures are coming up here. 128.77.
450 Zulu weather. Wind 100 at 5. Visibility 10. Sky condition 3,500 scattered. Temperature 24. Dew point 18. Altimeter 3027. Visual approaches are in use. Landing and departing runway 15. Use caution for bird activity on and in the vicinity of the airport. Advise on initial contact. You've received information. India.
All right, we have India.
Semi airport information. India. Time 1450 Zulu weather. Wind 100 at 5. Visibility
100 at 5. Okay. 24:45. And we're ready to go. How about you, Peter?
I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead and put your right hand on the stick and pull it back into your lap, just like I'm doing here. It helps build good tailwheel habits, because even though this airplane is tailwheel heavy, it has plenty of weight in the tailwheel. Other airplanes that you may fly in the future, like a Piper Cub or something, don't necessarily have that, so you want to always keep the tail down on the ground so there's friction. Okay. Clear left and clear right. We're coming up on the power. And then make sure to wave at the good old family here.
The spectators.
There they are.
Number 50 Charlie, taxi Alpha Sun State, cross runway 24.
What we're going to do is S-turn and S-taxi, and I'll talk about that in a second. Kissimmee Gateway Ground, Texan 1 is out of Warbird information, India to the southwest, please.
Texan 1, Kissimmee Ground, runway 15, taxi Charlie and Delta.
15 Charlie and Delta, Texan 1. All right. So what we're doing is basically S-turning or S-taxing so we can see down the taxiway and clear it of any other obstructions or aircraft. Now it's okay to have wing overlap on the edge of the taxiways, but obviously, as you can see there, there's signs down there below us, and we only are limited to how far we can actually let those wings overlap before we could be in danger of hitting some signs. So we usually go about halfway up the wings, and we'll look to the left and to the right. When we come to the right, we'll look to the left and vice versa. Neutralize the rudders right here, and then begin the turn. All right. And we're going to take a left on Delta. We're on Charlie currently. Got a little left crosswind today. And then we'll do our run-up. Now, we have a steerable tail wheel. It goes 15 degrees left or right, and the rudder pedal travels 35 degrees left or right. So at a certain point, if we need to maneuver in a tight space, we're not going to have enough travel on the tail wheel, right?
Right.
So what we're going to have to do is unlock that tail wheel and make it free swiveling. And the way that we do that is we push the stick all the way forward and unlatches the mechanism in the back, sort of pulls a pin, so to speak, and makes the tail wheel like a wheel on the front wheel on the shopping cart where we can swivel around. I'll show you that here in just a second.
Okay.
Right about here so we can get into the wind. So follow along with me and feel this last inch of travel right here, right there. And then it makes it free swiveling, and then we have to use opposite rudder to lead where we're going to be pointing. So right here. Peter on the brakes. My canopy is coming close because it's going to get windy and loud. You can do the same if you like. Power is coming up to 1600 RPM. At 1600 RPM, we're going to cycle the propeller. And get some fresh oil up into the prop hub and make sure the governor is operating correctly. Pulling the prop all the way back, 100, 200 RPM drop, increase the manifold pressure and a fluctuation in oil pressure. We're going to do it one more time, 100, 200 RPM drop, increase the manifold pressure and a fluctuation in oil pressure. All right, now we're going to come all the way up to 2000 RPM. And at 2000 RPM, we're going to check operation of the magnetos, hydraulics, and mixture. Right here, mag check, mag right. Not more than 175 and back to both. Check, mag left. Not more than 175 and back to both. Within 50 RPM of each other. Pulling the mixture back. We're going to wait for a drop in the RPM on the tack. Here comes the drop. Right about. There's the drop. Full mixture and hydraulics, 1,000 pounds per square inch. Reducing the throttle down to idle. And at idle, we want to do an idle check, make sure it's 450 to 550 RPM. And then watch your knees, because I'm going to do a flight control check. Right aileron up, left aileron down, left aileron up, right aileron down. Elevator down, elevator up, rudders full control, travel free and correct. And all four corners, no inhibiting, no biting, and no friction. Flaps are up, trims are set, wobble pump is stowed. We're on the right tank full of fuel, visually verified. Mixture is full, rich prop is full forward. Magnetos and battery master are on. Radio master is on, starter gate is closed, video master is on and recording also. 1200 for VFR squawking on altitude. And on the transponder, 124.45 and 136.55 in standby. And my seatbelt is on and latched. How about yours, Peter?
My seatbelt is on and latched.
All right, I'm ready to go if you are.
Ready.
All right, let's push that stick forward so we can maneuver here again.
Tower Texan 1 holding short, 15 ready for takeoff.
Texan Flight, Secretary, runway 15 cleared for takeoff.
15 cleared takeoff, Texan 1.
And final is clear, looking to the left.
Good morning, Kissimmee Tower.
We're going to turn the volume up and your squelch is up.
7 miles outside of Watsy.
Flight 1 Delta Victor, Kissimmee Tower.
When we roll onto the runway, we're going to take center line.
Do a full stop, taxi back, please.
The runway is clear. Now we're going to use the right stick to counteract the torque of the engine.
For another approach.
Even though we have left crosswind a little bit, we would normally use left crosswind. So that's going to equal out to about center stick right about here. 36 inches of manifold pressure, feet are off the brakes, green, green, and green. We're on the left main gear here, 80 miles per hour, lift off. Out of usable, positive rates, power push 1,000 and the gear is coming up. All right, reduce the power so we don't hurt the neighbor's ears, 30 inches of manifold pressure, and 2,000 RPM.
Columbia 1 Delta Victor, if approach slowed you down, you may resume normal speed.
We're fine, thanks, Tom.
And then pulling it back to 28 inches manifold pressure, and now 19.
It did slow us, but that's okay. We're kind of where we want to be anyhow.
Okay, good, thanks.
And we'll reduce the mixture back to the T's so we get proper EGTs and leaning here.
Texan 1, no traffic for you for your first 5 miles, button 3.
Button 3, Texan 1, thank you.
Okay, button 3, we're off to practice area frequency. I'm going to open up my vent here. You have controls, Peter, go ahead.
I have the control.
And you have controls.
Now what heading am I going to maintain?
Don't worry about the heading. I'm going to tell you when to stop. We're VFR looking outside. The compass is always lagging and has those compass errors, so we don't really even want to use that sometimes. So right about now, wings level. That's the heading we're going to want first. So just play around with that pitch attitude like I was talking about. Try and find 110 miles per hour if you can. You're pretty much right there right now. If you want 120, so try and do what you can to go between 100 miles per hour, 110, and 120 and see how sensitive the pitch attitude can be there.
Yeah, I can see that. 110, 120.
Yeah, so it takes a good, nice, sensitive light touch on the airplane, believe it or not. So.
Yeah.
Now, again, just to recap some of the basics, we're just controlling the four forces of flight, the thrust, lift, weight, and drag. The weight, of course, is always going to be 5,000 pounds around there, unless we're doing aerobatics, in which case we're going to be feeling acceleration forces, and it'll be 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times the force of gravity, right?
Yep.
And the thrust is being provided by the 600 horsepower Pratt & Whitney 1340. Now, 600 horsepower is at the takeoff power, so we're probably experiencing somewhere around 450 horsepower right now. It's 28 inches and 1900 RPM. You can continue to climb up to 2,000 feet, okay?
2,000 feet.
2,000 feet. And remember, you're looking outside 80% of the time and inside 20%, and maybe 3 seconds outside, 1 second inside.
Gotcha.
Or however your scan needs to be, because we're VFR today, just like we usually do most of the time. And then the weight, the thrust, and then the drag is parasite drag or induced drag. Induced drag is a product of lift, so it depends on our angle of attack and those wake tip vortices and how pronounced they are on the wingtips. And then it goes to your angle of attack for controlling lift. And how we control the angle of attack is, of course, controlling the angle of attack or the lift or lack of lift on the horizontal stabilizer with the elevator. Now, all that's to say, basically, you need right rudder. I'm going to get up, that's the four forces of flight, but then we have turning tendencies for the engine, spiraling slipstream, torque, P-factor, and then sometimes gyroscopic precession. So you'll need right rudder, but when you do right rudder, it causes the left wing to go faster on the outside of the circle, so you generate more lift, so then you tend to roll right. So you need left aileron and right rudder for a good coordinated climb. Okay, we're outside of the Class Bravo shelf area where we can climb now up to 3,500. So go ahead and begin your climb to 3,500.
You want to wait until we get past these clouds, or?
Nope, we're going to have plenty of altitude for that.
I mean,
begin your climb.
All right.
And if we need to adjust, we can. We can actually head a little bit further west if you want, take a little bit larger cut to the right, to the west, and then we'll get out to another part of Class Bravo airspace where we can climb up to 5,500 and then just dodge some clouds there. So now, if it looks like we're going to be up to 500 below these clouds, then we can go ahead and level off now, and it does look like that. So we'll level off for a little bit until we find a better hole.
All right, that makes sense to me. I thought you were telling me to go right through the clouds.
No.
Okay,
we're
good.
VFR.
Good, we're...
We're VFR. But sometimes it's hard to judge the clouds. Basically, you know, sometimes those clouds, the way they look, and they'll be up at 6,000, not
right.
3,000 or 4,000. So you don't know until you climb and actually get a little bit closer to them so you can have a visual inspection of them. So stay a good 500 feet below these clouds right now, and then the next opportunity we'll get, we'll go ahead and climb to 3,500. And then as we work our way a little bit further west here, we're almost in the area where we can climb up to 6,000 here. In fact, we are. So you can go ahead, if you find a gap off to the right.
Right there?
We can go ahead and climb. That's a little bit too far to the right. We want to still continue south a little bit. And hopefully by the time we get down to our practice area, Lake Pierce, we're going to have an opening. Okay, this lake off to the left is called Lake Marion, but we like to call it Horse's Head Lake because it looks like a horse's head.
All right.
You can kind of see it upside down here. This little island is the eye, and this little triangle on the north side is the ears. So keep heading further south now, and the next opportunity you get, we can climb up to 5,500.
5,500.
Which I have a feeling will be a little bit further south. It usually does open up for us over Lake Pierce. Okay, let's continue straight now instead of turning to the left. If we'll keep going to the left, we'll get back into that Class Bravo shelf area where we need to stay below 4,000. So let's stay off to the west of the Lake Marion. And you could go ahead and come to the right here a little bit further. The next lake is going to be our practice area, Lake Pierce, on the about 11 o'clock on lower left.
Okay.
That's where we're going to practice if we can find some nice holes down there, anywhere near there.
Well, what about, can we get up here or no? To the right?
Well, let's wait because we want to be able to see if we have visual contact with our practice area, the Lake Pierce.
All right.
Because we don't want to get above the clouds.
Okay.
Without having visual contact with our, and I can see some gaps over here to the left anyways that we should be able to get to.
Okay.
Now that we're on the south side of Bravo, you can go ahead and start climbing up to, well, go ahead and cut to the left first. You see that gap on the north
Yes, I do.
side of Lake Pierce? That's what I'm shooting for.
Okay.
Now that we're outside, we're far enough south of Class Bravo airspace we can climb, but the clouds are restricting us right now.
Gotcha.
All we need to do is move a little bit further back to the east, and then we'll be able to have that. So far you got a great touch on the stick. Once you're prepared for it, you can kind of understand that it's going to be more sensitive than you might expect, and then you'll be able to adapt to the airplane pretty quickly. But the T6 is a very versatile and fun airplane to fly. And I'll teach you about some unique and interesting stall characteristics here in just a second. So,
okay.
Go ahead now. It looks like we're in the clear. Climb on up to 6,500, sir.
6,500.
And then dodge some of those clouds. Let's come to the right. Yep, just like I thought. Pierce is looking beautiful. Okay. Okay, power's up to 1900 and now 28 inches manifold pressure, and we are green, and green on the fuel pressure, oil pressure, and oil temperature. Hydraulics 1,000 pounds per square inch. We're on the north side of the protrusion of Lake Pierce. 1240 on the EGTs, and mixture looks good. And cycle the hydraulics, and the gear is still up. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue that climb to 6,000. We want to begin aerobatics at 6,000, okay?
6,000, okay.
Excellent job so far, Peter. How do you feel? How do you like the airplane?
I feel great, and I love the airplane.
Don't forget your right rudder during climb. Always try and keep that inclinometer or the ball in between the white lines as we're climbing.
Okay.
And double check that in your scan. But so far, you're doing fantastic. And
still wanting to main 110 for the climb, because I'm getting a little bit low, but...
Yeah, that's okay. If you want to do 100 for a best rate of climb, you can. That'll be better at this point right now. Before we wanted a cruise climb, now we're kind of in the practice area, so we just want to get up to altitude. Very good. And then on the east side of this lake is a good place to work because there's a road right here. There's a very long, empty north-south road that we can use as reference for aerobatics as well as an emergency landing location should things go wrong. So
okay.
I'll show that to you when we're doing some of the aerobatics. You'll see the road pretty clear and plain as day once we are upside down looking at the ground. Okay, now you can go ahead and work your way towards the south, look to the right, and look on the ground. Generally, there's a lot of roads down here, but generally, for the most part, the roads are oriented north, south, and east, west. So right now, we're pretty much paralleling all those roads heading towards the south. A little bit, maybe another 5 degrees to the right, 5 or 10 degrees. And then off to your right, you can see the roads going east and west.
Yep.
So that's a good way to help you understand where your cardinal directions are. We'll just use the main 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, west.
Okay.
We're up to 4,700 now, about another 1,000 or 1,300 feet to go. Power is coming up to 28 inches. Every 1,000 feet of altitude gained, we lose about an inch of mercury, or an inch of manifold pressure, so we want to increase that manifold pressure 1 inch. Remember that right rudder there.
See, my ball up here looks like it's a little bit to the left, so with the shadow, it's kind of hard to...
Yeah, that's why we need to adjust with the wing bank angle as well, too. You want to have an equal balance between both, so...
Just keep me honest.
Go ahead and start a turn to the right, and then after that, we're going to start our aerobatics. We'll have plenty of altitude. We're up above about 5,400 now, about another 500 feet, so just a nice, gentle turn to the right, and we'll get started, okay?
Okay. Did you want me to be heading east or just keep on turning?
Keep turning to the north for me. So you'll see this, look to the right on the ground. See that road there, that big long north-south road? On the ground?
Yes.
That's the road that we'll like to do aerobatics over.
Okay.
So we're almost at 6,000 now.
6,000. You want me to level off at 6?
No, just keep climbing. The more altitude, the better.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take controls from you now, and I want you to follow along with me, okay?
All right, you have control.
Okay, the first maneuver is going to be an aileron roll. We're going to dive for 160 miles per hour. All rolling maneuvers are going to begin at about 160 miles per hour. Pulling the power back to 26 inches manifold pressure in 1800 or 1850. Right about there. Green, green, and green, and hydraulics 1,000. Okay, we're diving for 160. We got 140, 150, 160. For an aileron roll, we're going to pitch on up about 10, 20 degrees. Right about here, remember that spot, neutral elevator, and then all the way to the left. That is an aileron roll right here. And then we relax pressure right about here, and then we're ready. So I want you to take controls.
I got control.
And go ahead and dive the nose for 160 miles per hour. We lost about 200 or 300 feet on that. And then once you get that 160, make sure to look up and out and over the nose. Don't look at a 45-degree angle to the left or the right. You'll make yourself sick.
Now all the way?
Not yet. Pull up. Make sure we get that altitude first, right?
Okay.
Okay, right here. Now neutralize the elevator. Now go for it. There you go. All the way. Keep going. Excellent. Keep going. Keep going. A little bit of topside rudder helps us. And there we go. That's an aileron roll.
That was kick-ass.
Yeah. Pretty fun, huh?
Yes.
Okay, I have controls. After every maneuver, we do a zoom climb and sort of a wing over to reposition ourselves and convert that airspeed back into altitude gain.
Okay.
So that's called a zoom climb. Now, as I dive back down here, I'm going to be diving for 180 miles per hour, and I'm going to do a loop next, okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Feel good?
Yes, I feel good.
Okay, good. So, 26 and 18, we're at about 180, and we're looking over the nose first, and we're pulling up nice and steady and smooth. Now look to the left. There's our left wingtip for vertical. Okay, right about here, look over the nose and float the top. Remember to bring that stick back to neutral, because if we don't, then we'll stall on the top side of the loop. And right about here, we'll begin to pull again and keep pulling and finish off that loop. And then at the very end, we'll put the nose back towards the sky and zoom climb, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you got controls for now, and keep this pitch attitude and climb for a little bit.
Okay.
And then when we're ready, you can actually lower it just a little bit. Lower the nose. There you go. You can lower the nose more.
Okay.
When you're ready, go ahead and dive for that 180.
All right, you're going to have to talk me through this, because that was a lot for...
yeah, it was.
Okay, 180.
And I will, and I'm on the controls with you. So dive for 180. We're going to have a little bit of right rudder during the climb as well.
Oh, during the climb, okay.
To counteract turning tendencies. Outside, 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 and then inside. Outside, 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 and then there's 170 miles per hour. And then there's 175, 180. Okay, right here, nice and gentle. Smooth, normal pitch up, looking over the nose. Now transition eyes to the left. Okay, now right about here, start bringing the stick back to neutral. Neutral, and look up, down at the ground. Look straight up. And then keep pulling right here. A little bit of right rudder. Excellent job. Right there, and keep the nose coming up back for that zoom climb to gain some altitude back. All right, good job, Peter.
All right, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
That was really smooth. You didn't over-control on anything. It was excellent. I'm going to go ahead and show you a reverse half-Cuban next, okay?
Reverse half-Cuban.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, since we're already in this high pitch attitude, we'll do a split S, okay?
Split S, okay.
I'm going to add right rudder and get below 80 miles per hour. We want to get below 80 miles per hour because we're going to overspeed on the bottom side of the loop if we do that. Do you know what a split S is?
Nope.
Okay, it's going to be a half of an aileron roll to invert it, and then we're going to finish the last half of the loop, okay? So, it's a defensive tactical maneuver that was taught to fighter pilots in case they were being chased on, right? So if there's somebody behind our tail, we're going to roll upside down. Here we go, rolling upside down. Say, see you later. And then look up at the ground, look up at a reference point, and then pull up. Make sure we don't overspeed. There's a lot of G's right there. And then zoom climb afterwards. Make sure to tense up your stomach and leg muscles when we're experiencing G's like that.
Okay.
And that's a split S. Pretty simple. You want to try one?
Yes.
Okay, you got controls, and we're slowing. We'll just keep this pitch attitude until the airspeed slows below 80.
Okay.
And then when you're ready, do half of an aileron roll upside down, and you can let the stick be kind of neutral, and even maybe push the stick forward a little bit in the beginning of the roll, and then pull up immediately. Okay.
So we got 75, so I want a half aileron roll.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Go for it right now.
Go.
Rolling upside down, and then now look up at the ground, and then pull up right away, so we don't overspeed. Okay. Tense up stomach and leg muscles, and then back up into the sky. That's a split S. Very good. Very good, Peter. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Okay. All right. Well, the next one I'm going to show you is a reverse half Cuban, okay?
Reverse half Cuban. Gotcha.
Reverse half Cuban. It's kind of like the split S, only we go up at a 45-degree angle, and then we roll to inverted, and then we pull back and finish the loop, okay?
Okay.
We want about 26 inches and 18 right here. Going to push forward on the trim just a little bit. 160, 170. We'll go ahead and pull right up here to the 45, looking to the left to double check our angle. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. Half of a roll upside down, looking over the nose, and then up at the ground. Okay, as we continue to pull up, right there, we'll gently bring the nose back up into the sky. And I want to let you try it right now. You've got controls. 45 degrees, look to the left, roll to inverted.
Roll to inverted.
Keep rolling, keep rolling. Now look over the nose, look up, and then pick up a road or something like that, a reference point. And keep pulling smoothly and gently. And then keep that nose coming right back up into the sky for altitude gain. Okay?
Okay.
That was a reverse half Cuban 8. Excellent job, my friend. Okay, we got a couple more minutes, so I want to try and show you the barrel roll. The barrel roll is my favorite, and it's most people's favorite. It's very fun. I'm going to go back to the north here. Okay. I'm going to do my barrel roll to the right. You'll do your barrel roll to the left immediately afterwards, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to do a Navy-style barrel roll. I'm going to look 90 degrees off my right wingtip and look at some clouds or a lake or something and pick up a reference point, okay?
Okay.
Now, I've got 160 miles per hour, a little bit more. I'm going to loop and roll at the same time. So I'm looking over the nose, pitching and rolling at the same time, nose, nose, nose. Now I'm looking at my reference point right here. And I've got a little bit of right rudder. There's my reference point, and it goes away. Now I look over the nose, and I'm continuing to pitch and roll back to where I started from. Ta-da! You've got controls. Look at the left. Look at your left wingtip. There's a big cloud right there. Let's roll and pull at the same time, and put your nose right on it, upside down right there. There goes the cloud. Bye-bye. And then keep looking over the nose, and then pull up right to where you started. That's a barrel roll.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake, right?
Yep.
Excellent job, Peter. You're doing fantastic, man. We got room. Well, we have about 1 more minute. We need to start descending. So on the descent, we're going to do some rolls to increase our drag and help us descend a little bit. So I'm going to do a 4-point roll, okay?
Okay.
I want you to follow along on me. It's basically the same as an aileron roll, only we get slice the pie up into 4 pieces, okay? Right about here, we stop, and we're going to stop. Roll, and 1. Roll, 2. Roll, 3. A little bit topside rudder, and 4. Okay? Okay. Got 26 and 18. We're down below 4,000, but above 3,500, pulling up. You've got controls. Look over the nose, and I want you to do a 4-point roll, okay?
Okay.
Ready? Yep. Go for it. Roll 1. Keep going. More. Stop. 2. More. Stop. 3. More. And stop. 4. There we go. And that's a 4-point roll. Okay, we're below our hard deck, below 3,500, so no more aerobatics. Okay. We're going to let our bodies and the airplane cool down here for a little bit, okay?
All right.
Are you feeling okay still?
I'm feeling good.
Okay, good. Good to hear it. I'm going to give you controls, and I want you to descend down below 3,000 feet for me, okay?
Descend below 3,000.
And we can keep the power here at 26 inches so we don't shock cool the engine. We have the mixture leaned appropriately, and we're at about 1,800 RPM. I'm going to give weather 128.77, so stand by.
Okay.
And you have control.
Advise on initial contact. You've received information. Juliet. Kissimmee Airport information, Juliet. Time 1550 Zulu weather. Wind 100 at Niner. Visibility 10. Sky conditions 3,000 scattered. Ceiling 8,000 broken. temperature 25, dew point 19er, altimeter 3026. Visual approaches are in use, landing and departing runway 15. Use caution for bird activity on and in the vicinity of the airport. Advise on initial contact, you've received information. Juliet.
All right, Juliet 136.55 back to 124.45, and we'll switch to tower button 2, 124.45, and now 121.7.
Semi tower, put the water towers for right traffic 15.
For water tower for right traffic runway 15, 6115 Tango.
Okay, you can keep the descent coming down to about 2,000 feet now.
Traffic is approaching the on the VOR final down there at 2,000. It's a helicopter.
Mustang 6 takeoff 15, I'll be looking for the helicopter on the VOR.
Kissimmee Tower, Texan 1, 10 miles to the southwest. Information, Juliet for the overhead, please.
Texan 1, Kissimmee Tower, traffic at 11 o'clock, a mile, same altitude, inbound.
Texan 1, turning to the right, negative contact so far.
Right straight ahead.
Let's
go to the right because he's at 11 o'clock.
2,000 feet, 9 miles west inbound with Juliet full stop.
We got somebody right ahead of us.
Roaming Kissimmee Tower, report over Old Town for right traffic runway 15.
Got him. Traffic in sight.
Report over Old Town for right traffic runway 15, 6 Juliet Romeo.
Texan 1, the traffic you're looking for is at 2200 now and 12 o'clock to you in about less than a mile.
Is that helicopter traffic? Because we have helicopter traffic off to our right now, Texan 1.
Yes, he's gone to the right now. Yes, it's a helicopter, but it should be correcting back to the left. It's supposed to be on the VOR approach, so use caution out there.
Texan 1. Okay, come down to 1,500.
1,500.
And this heading is good for now. The airport is going to be on the northwest side of this lake off to our right. This lake off to our right is called Lake Toho.
You could go down to 1,500 now if you would and turn back to the right to avoid another aircraft over there to your left.
Coming back to the right, Texan 1.
And tower, Dutchess 6 Juliet Romeo is over the Old Town.
So 6 Juliet Romeo, roger, crossing Old Town, enter straight in final runway 15.
Crossing Old Town, enter straight in for final 15, 6 Juliet Romeo. Tower helicopter 155 Mike Golf inbound on the VRDME, we got the T6 in sight.
5 Mike Golf, roger, you can maneuver left to get back on course if you want.
Will do. Tower Mustang 6 is going to head out southbound.
Mustang 6 southbound.
All right, we're probably going to make an overhead for runway 15. And Tower Texan 1 is the overhead approved.
Next one, affirmative, report initial, runway 15.
Report the initial for runway 15, 1,500, Texan 1.
November 168 Charlie.
Okay, we're going to remain at 1,500 for now.
168 Charlie, fly southbound, runway 15, cleared for takeoff.
Southbound for 15, clear takeoff on November 168 Charlie.
26 and 18, we've got 38 minutes on the clock. Okay. Heading northbound now. We're going to make a right turn eventually to line up with runway 15, the same runway that we landed on. Okay, Peter? And then basically, we're going to do a military-style overhead 360.
6 Juliet Romeo, proceed direct to the airport, cleared to land, runway 15.
Clear to land, runway 15, direct to the airport, 6 Juliet Romeo.
Let's come down another 40 feet, 40 or 50 feet. Okay.
Texan 1 for now, expect a 2-mile initial.
Texan 1.
Traffic to the Beach Duchess just east of Old Town, turning final out of 1500.
5 Mike Golf Koopy.
Out 5 Mike Golf, roger, plan to circle for runway 6.
Okay, I think I have the aircraft inside. He's going to be off our nose at 12 o'clock right now, very far, a small white speck in the sky. So we're going to be turning 2-mile initial now. We're parallel to runway 15.
November 611 Foxtrot Tango, proceed present position direct to the right base, runway 15.
Direct to runway 15, 611 Foxtrot Tango.
Mustang 6, clear of all traffic, appreciate you and approved. Texan line 1500, and you can proceed to the 1 mile initial with a left brake.
Proceed to 1 mile initial for the left brake, Texan 1.
And the Duchess 76 Juliet Romeo, you might see a T6 Texan be approaching from your right. He's going to be staying at 1,500 feet. Joining the initial at 1 mile out from the airport.
Roger, 6 Juliet Romeo.
Traffic 5 Mike Golf, traffic to Cessna, 1 o'clock, 1 mile just off the airport, supposed to be southbound.
Inside, we're below.
Duchess inside, Texan 1.
Texan 1, roger, left brake, cleared land number 2, following the Duchess.
Left brake clear to land number 2, this is behind the Duchess, Texan 1.
November 611, Foxtrot Tango, join the left downwind now, heading 330.
330.
Traffic 5 Mike Golf, runway 6, cleared to land, and proceed on arrival to the ramp.
Clear to land 6 and to the ramp.
Okay, we're lining up with runway 15, and right about the approach end or just past, we're going to do a left brake. We're going to descend in some altitude here a little bit.
Okay.
And in 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1, brake to the left. Okay, very good. And then follow along on the controls with me. I have controls.
You have control.
26
ready, Charlie Southwest.
Power push below VLO. Stand by. 20 inches minimal pressure. Power push below VLO. There's below VLO, and gear is coming down.
Good morning, Kismita 140,
Duchess, is over the numbers?
Let's fill with information, Juliet, inbound 44, stop.
So 140, move now to
Gear
continue
is down and lock
continue
left
straight
side
in, runway
and
15.
right side.
Continue straight in for runway 15, 140, Delta.
November 611, Foxtrot Tango, base turns approved. Number 2 be following a Texan aircraft that's turning a left base. Ahead of you, cleared to
Trims are set,
15.
and mixture full rich. Stand by on the prop.
We'll be traffic from the left base.
We're shooting for 90 to 100 miles per hour on
Runway
final.
available right on 24 is approved, and turn right on Delta, helicopter traffic beyond the number 6.
You're right on 24 and right on Delta, 6 Juliet Romeo.
5 Mike Golf, hold short of Delta, traffic will be on runway 24 opposite direction, exiting on Delta.
Inside, 5 Mike Golf will hold short of Delta. We'll proceed right into the ramp. Well short of him.
Roger, just avoid that traffic beyond Bravo inbound.
Roger that.
Shoot Hotel, join Bravo, continue taxi ACA. Helicopter has you in sight, will pass behind you, we hope.
Roger, left on Bravo, taxi ACA, 6 Juliet Romeo.
I guess you got a couple.
Power's out, gear is down to lock.
Good. And have a
Flaps,
good
trims,
day.
and mixture in.
Yes, well, 6 Juliet Romeo.
Oh.
Texan 1, TWA, Delta, and Charlie.
Texan 1.
Good morning, Tower. Texan 5-1's ready to roll on 15.
Texan 5-1, we're ready to. Cleared for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 5-1.
After landing checklist, power push, flaps are coming up, trims are reset. Clear left, center, and right. Mixture is lean back for the T's, and ground squelch is set to the ground setting. You can open up your canopy now, Peter, if you like. All right, what a beautiful day to have flown.
Oh, yeah. It was a little bit cloudier than what I expected, but it's still nice.
Yeah, sometimes it makes for a good view.
Yep.
Clear left, and center, and right, we're going left. If you could do a couple more things for me, Peter, when we come in underneath the overhang, you can stay in your seat, please, if you will, and keep your seat belt and your parachute harness fastened until the propeller stops. Once the propeller stops, then you can go ahead and unbuckle everything. And then I'll get out and make sure to get your step stool out, too, so you can deplane safely, okay?
I could practice jumping out the back of the wing.
No, let's not do that. These are great. You'll like this. All right, so we've been doing half Cubans, right? Okay. The reverse Cuban goes the other way, naturally, right? Because it's called a reverse Cubanate. What we're going to do is dive and pick up 180 miles an hour, then set a 45-degree nose-up attitude. We'll watch the airspeed indicator bleed off to about 115. At that point, we'll roll the aircraft inverted and pull it back through the bottom half of the loop. All right? Okay. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Feel through me on this first one. We're diving for 180 miles an hour. Can't believe I forgot these. These are my favorite maneuver. All right, 180. The nose comes out 45 degrees. Right there. We neutralize the back elevator pressure and just ride it. We're watching that airspeed bleed off. There's 120, 115, 110. There we go. We roll the airplane inverted, stop it upside down on our line, and pull it right back through the vertical. Just like so. Once again, recovering with a nose-up attitude, right? All right, so that's the reverse Cubanate. What I'd like you to do is give us a turn to the east, and then why don't you practice a few? Any questions on that? No. I don't know if you noticed this or not, but looking out the side, our propeller is pulling moisture clean out of the air. I'm seeing the slipstream just squeezing by us here. It's really cool. Okay, looking good. Dive for 180. There he goes, 180. Nose up, 45 degrees. Up, up, up. Hold it right there, neutralize, and ride it until you see 115, 110, somewhere in that neighborhood. There you go, roll it upside down. There you go, roll, roll, roll. There you go, stop it. Oh, went past just a little bit and pull her back through. And the nose comes up. Down to
4,500 feet. We're going to zoom climb for about 1,000 feet here. What do you think?
That's incredible.
Isn't it great? All right, we'll do a few more of those. I just want to get us a little more buffer on the altitude is all. Looking good. How you feeling?
Doing good.
All right. All right. Tell you what. This is looking good here to the south. Why don't you do another one? Right down that line. There you go. Nice, I like it. You're diving aggressive now. Good job. 180, nose up, 45 degrees. There you go. Neutralize. And right it till you see, don't keep pulling. Hold it right there. 115, you can start the roll. Go for it. All the way upside down. Good job on the rudder. Neutralize the aileron. And pull it back through. Alright, lots of airspeed here. Bring that nose back up. Let's do another one. Right there, ride it. Hold it right there, no higher than that. There you go, roll us upside down. Go. And stop. There you go. Now pull her back through. We're slipping a little sideways there. Good, up, up, up. Get her on up. Okay, right there, that's good. A little more aggressive on the pull than we need to be there, but that's okay. Good job, what do you think?
This is incredible.
Alright, relax there, just breathe for a moment. Alright. Well, what has been your favorite maneuver to this point?
I still like the barrel rolls. That was pretty
Alright. Well, we have about 3 minutes of playtime. You want to do a few more of those?
Sure.
Alright, go for it.
Down.
There you go. 180, right there, start your pull. Looking good, now start a roll to the left. No, but continue pulling. Continue pulling. There you go. There you go. Here, we've got plenty of airspeed. Let me demonstrate one for you real quick. Okay. 180, the nose comes up. You want to get much higher nose up attitude than what you're doing there. You continue the pull as the airplane decelerates, then the roll. Look at that vapor coming off. That's cool. There you go. Alright, so once again, plenty of airspeed. Do it again for me. Continue that pull. And now start your roll. But don't stop pulling. There you go. And recover for me with the nose up, please. Good. Right there. Down to 4,500 feet. We've spent a lot of altitude there, but we're doing good. How you feeling?
I'm doing good.
All right. Well, unfortunately, the bad news is it is time for us to head back to Kissimmee.
Nice.
All right. We got 50, right about 5,000 feet. Tell you what we can do is a quick split S, if you like.
Okay.
Which is the other half of an Immelman. We didn't get to the Immelman because we spent all of our altitude. But this is the opposite of an Immelman, okay?
Okay.
So just feel through me. This one's going to have to be a demonstration only, I'm afraid.
That's fine.
We're going to slow the airplane down to real close to stall speed, about 80 miles an hour. All right? It's really easy to over-G the airplane in this maneuver. Once we get to 80, we'll allow the nose to come down, and then we just stuff it.
Wow.
Like so. Alright. You want to try one real quick?
Sure.
Alright, so once again we're slowing the airplane down. We're in slow flight, right?
Okay.
Now we don't want to go from this attitude to the nose down attitude. What I want to do, once we get down to 80, we're going to allow that nose to come down nice and slow to the level attitude, and then we stuff it, okay? We're right on the edge of airfoil stalling. Actually, that's the onset of a stall right there.
Okay.
All right, so the nose comes level, and then we push the stick forward.
Wow.
There you go, and pull it back. There you go. Nicely done.
Nice.
So that's a good way to get away from an adversary in a hurry, right?
Yes.
Of course, you would get it up to stall speed much quicker. We're looking good. All right, well, I tell you what, let's pull a loop around this little cloud here just for some perspective. And then, unfortunately, it'll be time to head back.
Okay.
You having a good time so far, John?
I had an awesome time. Thank you.
All right, it's my pleasure. I do like flying next to the clouds because it gives you an idea of how fast we're actually going. Right now, our ground speed is about 175 miles an hour.